Ladies and gentlemen, the Giants pulled off a move that nobody expected. They took Abdul Carter with the number 3 overall pick and went up and traded up for Jaxson Dart. Now, some are going to be looking at this and say, no, they were talking about trading up for Jaxson Dart the whole time. The key thing is, Shador Sanders was still on the board, and they took Jaxson Dart. Listen, we're going to touch on Abdul Carter in 1 second. Let's talk about Jaxson Dart being the quarterback of the future for the New York Football Giants. What is my reaction? Listen, I told everyone, I'm for whoever they take. And I just wrapped up the live stream. I just got off of the 3-hour live stream. So, I still got things circulating, still got notifications brewing up. Jaxson Dart has some traits that you can like in a quarterback. He has legs. He throws the ball deep. He makes some crazy plays, some crazy throws. The biggest thing is that he didn't run a pro offense in college. He didn't run an offense that you're going to see at the NFL level. But apparently Brian Daboll must love him. Joe Shane must love him. Love him enough to trade back up into the first where it seemed like quarterbacks were sliding. They were all sliding. Cam Moore was taking that one. Shador Sanders was still on the board. And listen, I was on board for Shador. I wasn't against taking Shador Sanders, but I'm behind whoever quarterback they take. To me, Jaxson Dart and Shador Sanders, we're neck and neck. I'm taking Shador over Jaxson Dart, but this could be for the future. Brian Daboll, quarterback guru, developing quarterbacks. This is your time to do so. I don't want to hear any fan talking about he never got to pick his quarterback because this is the play right here, and they took Jaxson Dart. Why is this huge? Why is this a big topic? Because the Giants did all the homework on Shador Sanders. They went to all his practices, visited a couple of games. They had off-season, private workouts, meetings with him. They had a whole lot with Shador Sanders, and people said Shador Sanders this whole time. And guess what? They had the chance to take him twice and didn't do so. People are going to hate the fact that we passed on Shador. But all I got to say is that these people had so many visits with him and still decide to not take him. So many people are still passing on him. I mean, granted, I just signed off of there. I don't know if anyone's trading back up to go get Shador. But right now, man, he's still not taken, and night one is about to be over. The Giants had the opportunity to take him twice. They didn't. Other teams had the opportunity to take him in the first round. They didn't. That speaks volumes. That tells you what it is. Now, Jaxson Dart. Is Jaxson Dart going to be the future? Well, he's the future here. For people that aren't fans of Jaxson Dart, you better start getting used to it because he's the future of the New York Giants. They took him even after signing a Russell Wilson, even after signing a Jameis Winston. They have a couple of picks, throughout this draft. You're thinking, hey, maybe they fill up this team with talent and they worry about quarterback next year. No, they like Jaxson Dart and they take Jaxson Dart. This is an interesting development, man, because I will say, I did see this circumstance happening. I did see the chance that the Giants would trade back up into the first round, and we were waiting on it. Everyone that was in the chat with me, man, appreciate you for tapping in on that live stream, but we were waiting on the Giants to make that move, and they did. And I just never thought Shador Sanders would be on the board as well. The perfect scenario would have been, listen, all these fans that were clamoring for Shador at 3, you take Abdul and you take Shador. Listen, that brings teams together. That brings both sides together. And who can be mad after that? You get the best of both worlds. We take Jaxson Dart instead. And I will say, man, go check out my top video on Jaxson Dart. It's pinned on the homepage. Dropped a video about 2 to 3 months ago explaining why Jaxson Dart has the upside to be one of the best quarterbacks in this class. Once again, you look at what he played in the SEC. The SEC competition is a lot higher than the competition you've seen out of the other quarterbacks. Does he have his flaws? He does. Sometimes he presses a bit. Sometimes when you have to look past his progressions, he was a one-read quarterback for the most part through college, but the arm talent is there. The moxie's there. The legs are there. Listen, there's a lot of traits that you could like in a Jaxson Dart, and it seemed like the Giants were sold on it. There was talked about all this morning. I jumped on a live stream this morning talking about it, and it all rang true, man. I just never expected it to be Shador Sanders still on the board. I thought they wanted to trade back up late with Shador Sanders already off, trying to get Jaxson Dart. They end up getting their quarterback, man. Quarterback out of Ole Miss. We do have, former tenure with Ole Miss quarterbacks and Eli Manning. You got the Joe Judge connection. You got Joe Shane's son posting, Jaxson Dart's highlights last night. Insane development, man. I will say, the moment we should have realized this whole Shador Sanders thing was done was the moment that he posted the cleats. We should have known it was done at that point, man. That was when we had the first overall pick. We know what it is when college players are posting Giants stuff. It just ends up not being a thing for the New York Giants and them making it onto our team. And that reigns true with Shador Sanders, man. You got a quarterback in your future in Jaxson Dart. And once again, let's bring it back to the number 3 overall pick in Abdul Carter. Abdul Carter was the pick and was the right pick. top prospect. Travis Hunter was already off the board. I think it would have been one or the other because Abdul Carter is that talented of a pass rusher. You're getting back to your bare bones and what made you who you are, which is your pass rush going after the quarterback. That's what it was. You got Kayvon Thibodeau being picked up with the option. He's not getting traded. You got Brian Birds, Dexter Lawrence, and your guy in Abdul Carter. We're all young. 27 is the oldest of the two players. Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence being 27. You got 24-year-old Kayvon Thibodeau and a 21-year-old Abdul Carter. There's a lot of things to love because guess what? You can keep these guys together for a long time. You can. KT, you're under contract this year and next year. So you got guys locked up long term. This pass rush should be serious, and there should be no excuse for us not getting after the quarterback. On third down, I want you guys to picture all four of them guys on the field together. I want you guys to picture that. Listen, quarterback is a question. The future of the quarterback is a question. Guess what? They answered that with Jaxson Dart. They still added their talent. One of the best players in the draft in Abdul Carter. Can't be mad at what they did today. If you're mad at it, it's because you don't like Jaxson Dart. You don't think he's going to turn out to be anything. Listen, I'm not saying he's a perfect quarterback. He's not. He's definitely not. But Brian Daboll, go ahead and strap up your helmet. Let's get to work, man. You want to develop a quarterback? You made a Josh Allen the way he is, like everyone says you did. Go ahead and get to work with Jaxson Dart. I think Jaxson Dart has some traits that you should like, that you could like in your quarterback. And if Brian Daboll thinks he fits the system, let's put it to work, man. I don't think Jaxson Dart plays this year. Let him sit behind Russ all year, and let's get him ready for next year. People got their quarterback. Minnesota had J.J. McCarthy sit for a whole year. That injury kind of sidelined him. Let's do the same with Jaxson Dart, and let's get things rolling, man. Regardless of who it was at quarterback, regardless of who we drafted, I was going to be behind them no matter what. Just so happens Jaxson Dart was the guy. I know there's some people that love Jaxson Dart. I know some people didn't. I want you guys to let me know down below, man. What are your reactions to night one of the NFL draft for your New York Football Giants? Listen, I'm hyped because I think the Giants got a whole lot better. They did two things today. They got their future secured, and they also got one of the best players, if not the best player, in the draft. I'm hyped. I'm loving it. You guys let me know down below what your thoughts. We're running it back tomorrow. I will drop another video tomorrow, and I will be live kind of before night 2 kicks off for the NFL draft, man. What did the Giants give up? I didn't even cover that. What did the Giants give up? They gave up the 34 pick, which is your second-round pick. They also gave up pick number 99 and the next year's third. They paid that quarterback tax. They had to pay the tax if they were getting their quarterback. So that leaves us with pick, I believe, 64 or 65 in the third round. We only got one pick for tomorrow, unless they make any other moves happen, man. So right now, we're slated to have one pick tomorrow. Let's go add in the trenches. Let's continue to add for this team. You got your quarterback, and you got your stand-up pass rusher. Let me know your thoughts on the video, man. Let me know your thoughts on these players, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.